Hello, my name is Tomas Walsh. Welcome to my bag speech. Before we begin, I'm just gonna show you my audience. 1, 2, wonderful. All right, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Tomas Walsh. I don't really have a year in school right now. I'm kind of just wrapping up a few credits before I can get my associate's degree. But I'll start with in high school when I joined the Army National Guard as a combat medic. And during 2020, that horrible year, where everyone was out of doing, stuck in their houses, I was out there and I was doing my training to become a combat medic. And when I was doing that training, I really fell in love with emergency medicine. When I came back from Texas, I went to UIC as I had planned, got a few gen eds done, but while I was in that classroom setting, I yearned for more hands-on, more emergency medicine. And so I switched paths and I went to paramedic school. And that's what I've been doing. I'm currently working as a paramedic in Addison Fire Protection District up on the north side, if any of you are familiar. All right, let's get to brass tacks. Let's talk about my bag. So for my bag, I have this bag right here, which I bought recently on a trip to San Francisco. The reason San Francisco has importance to me is because my brother currently goes to school at Berkeley in San Francisco. And I do have to say, the person I bought this for also has meaning to me, as I bought it from my lovely girlfriend who you saw at the beginning of the video. About this bag, I thought this bag was very colorful. I thought it was, not only did it embody the trip that I had full of amazing views and seeing all these things for the first time, but it also thought that I could take my whole trip, and although she couldn't join me on the trip, if I was able to gift this to her, she would kind of have a piece of that trip as well. So let's start talking about what's inside. So the first things first is a textbook. So this textbook is one of the textbooks, it's the first textbook I received in paramedic school. Now, paramedic school is a very long, very difficult process, and it's kind of like drinking water through a fire hose, and everything comes at you very quickly. But like I said, I just was in love with paramedicine, and so this book was a Bible to me. I loved it, and I loved reading every single second of it. Also in paramedic school, I realized how important it is to continue my education and how important education is to me, because although being a paramedic is great and it's one of the best jobs I could have ever asked for, I have a strive for more, and I want to learn more, and I want to educate myself more and more to be the most eligible candidate when it comes to things like promotions and moving up through the ranks. So first things first, paramedic textbook. Secondly, let me show you some coins. Now in the Army, typically coins are given by an officer or someone of power, and they're given as signs of a job well done, or if you've done something that is extraordinary. Now, these coins in particular, I won for competing in the Illinois Army National Guard Soldier of the Year competition. And so one of these coins, this coin being my battalion and this coin being my brigade, as these competitions, they were tests of everything that a soldier is capable of. I was doing long ruck marches, I was doing medical training, I was doing, basic shoot, move, communicate. Just kind of the basics of being a soldiering. But from the minute I went to basic training and I got yelled at by a drill sergeant, I always wanted to be a master of basic principles. I wanted to be the best basic soldier there was, so that I could move on and be the best medic that I possibly could be. If you'll take a look, they have a little bit of significance. As you can see, this one has the Chicago skyline in it, and my battalion's shoulder patch. And then this one is the flag, and that's a flag for the brigade that I'm currently in. And so these have a lot of meaning to me, and they are reminders to just keep moving and do better, get to that next step. All right, and finally, one of the most important things in my life is traveling. And so here I have two of my passports. I have of course, my United States passport and my Irish passport. Both my parents are from Ireland. They were born and raised there. And so I'm lucky enough to have family still there. And I'm lucky enough to be a citizen and be able to travel there. And now, just recently, I went on a trip back to Ireland. It was in November I went. And so I got to go over there. It was my first time going since 2016, which might not seem like a long time, but for me, I used to go every single year as a kid, and so it had really been a long time, and a long time had lapsed. And this was a difficult trip it was just me and my father who went. It was a difficult trip. I have family members who were going through certain medical problems and stuff like that, so it was a very near and dear trip to my heart. It was a difficult trip, but it was a very, very well needed trip. Just to go over a little bit, today I showed you the bag that I bought in San Francisco, meaning the importance of my family, the importance of going to visit my brother, and hopefully bringing home a little bit of that trip to my significant other. My paramedic textbook and how it inspired me and showed me that education is more than just a piece of paper, and that opening your mind just can create so many avenues for you. My Army coins, which showed me if you volunteer, if you want to move up, if you want to strive to do better, it will be noticed, and that you can do that. And then finally, of course, my passports, which allow me to have a greater view of the world and able to understand cultures that are not like my own, and hopefully giving myself a wider view to cultures that, not even Ireland, but all cultures all across the world. Thank you so much. Again, Tomas Walsh.